Hey guys, welcome to another Anchorhead video. Today we're doing something a bit different. We're in our undercover area and we're going to look at some of the modifications we've done to our tabs, 4.2 metre tinny, and talk about some future things. We've also got a bit of work to do. Check it out. A little bit of a random segue, but I get asked about my motorcycle. This is a 2024 Harley-Davidson Breakout. Now, it has had a lot of work done to it, but I like to call it a little bit more tasteful than some of my other bikes. My old bikes had airbag suspensions, NOS, all that silly nonsense. This bike is built tough, has power, looks clean, and is absolutely bulletproof. It has been built by Captain's Performance in Coffs Harbour, and it is one hell of a machine. This is my Tabs 4.2 metre tinny. Now, my father purchased it a few years ago, right before he passed away. We were meant to go out fishing together, but unfortunately that day didn't happen. I had to learn to fish watching YouTube, and that's why I love doing it now. I watch people like Sammy Hitsky, Pelagic Pursuit, Will and Mary, and I love getting out there and making my own content now. The boat has pretty much a brand new 30 horsepower, 4-stroke Susie on the back, and it never misses a beat. We've got our low rants transducer, got the Elite FS9. These are all modifications that I've done. We've got some Rail Blazer rod holders. These are absolutely fantastic. Now, the boat has some of these old ones on it when I first got it, and when I got a big fish, like if I'm out sharking or something, this would snap down and I'd nearly lose my rod. So I upgraded after some research to these Rail Blazers, and they actually lock in place and they're extremely strong. I'm pretty sure for this type of mount, they're the strongest ones you can get. I put a heavy duty BLA mount for my sounder, which is fantastic though, because you can swing it out of the way, lock it in position, and guys, you could absolutely swing off that. It is super strong. I put some Rail Blazer rod holders in, and I have an offshore EPIRB because it's only a little boat, but we do take it offshore. I've got a Rail Blazer cup holder. That is fantastic for just putting things like scent, some lures that you might cut off quickly in. Fantastic. There is a lot of comments out there about different trolling motors, but honestly, this has never missed a beat. I've had it upgraded with a new GPS unit. I've got new cords attached to it. It's got a remote control. We just drop it in, hit the spot lock, sweet. So this esky in the middle, it looks great. Look, it serves its purpose when you're by yourself out in the river, but unfortunately when there's a few of you casting, people trip over it and gets in the way. So we're going to take that out. We're going to fill in the deck. We're also going to put some new carpet down. Instead of this, it's going to be a nice flat deck, and we're just going to run a big esky bag. We have a love-hate relationship with this chair. Let me tell you, when you're offshore and it's rocking around, you need to get to a trolling motor. It gets in the way and it's absolute pain. You just want it gone. But the long days in the river and, you know, your legs get a bit tired. You sit back and kick back on it. Mate, it's the best seat in the house. We also have a storage hatch. We keep things like life jackets, raincoats. There's a whole bunch of offshore safety gear, first aid kit, ropes, anchor, all that good stuff. Now, because I've upgraded a lot of the electronics so far, I've got a much bigger battery, just so we don't ever run out of power. I upgraded the trailer wheels. I put some little mags on it. Now, there is an actual cover that goes over the top and makes it look much prettier, but we have the bearing buddies sticking out. And one recent painful thing, when I was at a boat ramp, I parked up, I came back, and someone had stole the cover off my bearing buddy. How annoying. Also, they swung the car and they half killed my number plate. I put a Tough Tools retractable strap on it. This thing's fantastic. Throw it over, hit the button, it winds itself in, chuck it in the back of the ute. One of the recent videos I've watched on Out of Line, he had a little orbital sander, just some 80 grit sandpaper, so I've decided to give that a go. Now, this is what it looked like before, and this is what it looks like after the first edge that I've done. Now, we are going to get a wrap around the boat, so I'm actually not going to do the hull. I'm going to polish up all these top parts of the gunnel, and we're going to put some new black carpet in, and we're going to get a pretty cool wrap done up with our Anchorhead logo. So that brings us to today's issues. I'm not sure if it's from an old mate hit my number plate, but my tail lights have stopped working. So I've gone to Bunnings and I've got a whole new wiring kit, and we're going to install it. Let's see how we go. As I'm taking the bolts off, I can see the actual cord is run extremely tight, like there's no room for movement there. So when that took an impact, that could have been the reason why one of the connections came off inside, or hell, it could have just been from the salt water over time. But we're going to cut that off and we're going to pull our new wires. Now that it's off, I can see where, due to it being pulled so tight, some of the cable covering's been pulled out, and salt water could have easily gotten in there. These are our new ones. Pretty cool. As much as I like soldering and tying cables, you don't need to with this one. Let's see how we go. Just quietly, I think the new ones look a little bit better. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to tape up the connection from the old cable to the new one, and I'm just going to pull that through the trailer. So I've returned from Bunnings. One very frustrating thing, and I've probably gone on about it 10 times, but the back of this plate, instead of being flat, it's got a huge connection on it. Drilling through steel is not always that easy. So I had to go get a new bit to get it done. And in my frustration, I pulled the cable too hard and snapped one off. So I had to get some steel wire to run that up the frame to pull the core back through. Let's get it done. So the so-called quick tail light upgrade, I finally got them in. Now I've just got to wire this side up. So I've soldered the wires together using a connection, and I just individually wrap them. Probably a bit overkill, but just my peace of mind, and then I'm going to heat shrink over the top. Alright, so it's the next day and we're back at it. Unfortunately, the trip to Bunnings, because we live out a little bit more rural, it's a couple of hour round trip and dad duties. So the next morning, it's a horribly rainy morning, so no fishing this morning. Perfect time to finish up the boat. Let's go. So this morning we've got to drill the new holes and run the wires through the frame. What I'm doing is I'm just making a pilot hole to start off with before I put the bigger bit on and drill it out. So unfortunately, yesterday Clint made things a bit harder for us. I got frustrated, I cut cords and I pulled cords too hard, and now I have to use some wire to run it up the frame to run new cables. Go me. We have working taillights. Yes, they're actually quite nice little taillights. It's just going through the Ford Ranger sequence now, just checking to make sure everything's working, and we're working. So it's taken me a lot longer to get this done than I thought it was going to do. Now, the simple Nava plug and play boat trailer kit, I thought, hey, I'll just run the cables through, do them up, good to go. It was an absolute nightmare because these kits are designed just to have run across the top of the beams of the trailer and strap them down. If you were doing that, it'd probably be super easy. Apart from the drilling issues I had, the connections weren't long enough in a lot of places. One of the places I had to cut and resolder the cables, and this is the most annoying part. I wanted to have this internally wired, but due to the cables not reaching far enough, I had to run along the outside. So these cables extremely long. These cables were short, so the connection only made it back to here. What was I going to do with that? So I'm absolutely unhappy with that. It's running across the top of the trailer. It's obviously how the kit intended. The lights are working. It's going to get me back out there and help me get after some fish, but God, it was effort, and I'm gonna redo it all when the time comes. The tail lights look good, but the wiring, how it's going across the front of the drawbar like that, it's crap. So, job done. Time to get polishing or time to get after some fish. I hope you enjoyed this one, guys. I'm going to be doing little updates as we go. I know it's not big eventful stuff, but I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me. I'll catch you on the next one.